Yay! It's like,
Hello.
what? It's a show?
Yes, we are showing.
The Sweet Subversive Show. Welcome to Hump Day. And
Yes,
it's a healthy hump day today.
it is. It is a very healthy hump day. I'm going to be kind of unhealthy, but
That's okay. A little bit. Like, have you ever heard of the 80-20 rule? You know, like 80% healthy, 20% shit. You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
everything else is pretty good. You know, you got to have enough unhealthy to keep your sanity.
Well,
But
I was moved to do this. I uh, saw my parents and a few days ago,
yeah.
and my mom is starting to get rid of some of her stuff because she's like, oh, I got all this stuff that I've had forever and ever and ever and get it out. Okay. And I called dibs on one item, and then she had us turn and look at this cabinet that she has that has glassware and all kinds of stuff in it. She goes,
Ooh.
if you guys want anything, just take it. And so, like, I have had my eye on these certain glasses forever, and they were my grandma Schultz's, so my dad's mom.
Oh, so an heirloom, a family heirloom.
Yes.
Even better.
And so I washed them carefully with vinegar, scrubbed them with the toothbrush, all that kind of stuff, because they I mean, these are like the hand etched old Art Nouveau coupe glasses.
Do you have it
And
with you?
so I do. And so I wanted to celebrate and put my
Yes.
limoncello in it. But I mean, look how beautiful these are,
Yours is way
right?
pretty.
I
I
mean,
love
they're gorgeous. And so I was like, well, I'm not going to put like, seltzer water in it. And so
No.
I put in the limoncello that I made
Oh, that
to
stuff is so good.
celebrate, because
I had
I'm
a little
like,
tipple of that the other day, and I'm
yeah,
like,
and I
that
think
stuff
that's
is
a
good.
health drink, especially in the winter. Got to get your
Citrus,
vitamin C.
vitamin C, you need citrus so you don't get scurvy. I mean, like, that's
Hmm.
the very least you can do.
Yeah, so I wanted to celebrate, like,
Well, congratulations on that awesome glass. Those are so
I
pretty.
know it. I know they're very beautiful. So I have a really nice set of them now.
We need to have a cocktail party now.
I was thinking champagne and caviar.
Oh, hell yeah. Oh
I'm
my
just
God,
saying,
that sounds
because that
amazing.
would be very healthy.
Well, caviar is good. It's got protein and the good fats and healthy stuff. I
It
mean,
does. It's got your omegas in there, right?
yeah, I mean, honestly, I can't think of too many things that are better than like eggs of any creature, really.
I will
Delicious.
eat your babies.
I eat those little babies, and they're so good. So, aside from our cannibalism tendencies and whatnot, we're trying to be healthier, right? This year,
Yeah.
we've been both working on it,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, we have. We have. I mean, and we've each had our areas that we're really focusing on.
that's right. I've been really working on eating healthier. I've lost some weight and trying to stick with that. My next thing throughout the year is adding some more exercise because I kind of am exercise adverse lately. I think about walking. I know somebody wrote like we should go do a race, and I'm like, well, I might run if there's an ice cream truck or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. And so I've been focusing, like, each year I try to refine a little more what I eat, and this year's been really good. Like, this year I think I've got my diet where I want it to be. And by diet I don't mean like temporary change. I mean
No.
what
Healthy
I
way.
take in. Yeah. And so I feel really good on that. I've been working on stress reduction. I'm not sure
It's all
how well that's
interconnected. Well, like sleep is important. Having your
That's my
mind
next
kind
big
of,
thing to tackle.
like, and I think like if you can get your stress level down, you'll probably sleep better.
Yeah, sleep is probably the shittiest health area of my life right now.
And I
And
think
has been.
it's so hard because I
Bad.
know when you're a busy person, you're always thinking about like what's going on in your life. And like for me, I can sleep easy, but I wake up and it's just
Look
not
at
sleeping good.
my mom's ripping on me.
Oh, she is just being mean, isn't she?
Yep.
Oh, she gets her exercise, digging in the laundry basket.
She's
Oh,
teasing me because I misplaced my tablet today for quite a while, to the
oh
point where you're starting to
no.
look through the refrigerator and empty your garbage. And I had my mom like Facebook call me to see if I could get it to chime. And I found it in a pile of sheets that I was going to put in the washer.
Oh no, I'm glad you didn't wash it. Oh,
I know.
that would have been a nightmare. Oh, I see Michelle is like just like me. If I'm running, there's something chasing me. It's either
Mhm.
it's either something chasing me or I really, really want something and it have to be something delicious.
Yep.
Do they have wine trucks that like go around neighborhoods? Wouldn't that
Like
be like I'd be like,
a
oh,
wine slushy,
I'll run after that.
margarita and taco truck.
I'm like, hey, come back,
Yeah,
come back, come back.
exactly.
But we're
Exactly.
trying not to do so much of that this year.
Yes, moderation.
Moderation is a key.
I will
Only
do some of it. I just won't do all of it.
Mm-mm. I know, and I think balance is important. Really, it is.
Yeah, it is. And so tonight, very excited. So Heather and I chatted with Ken at the LP convention in person, and shortly after that, he decided to make a group. And of course, in the Libertarian Party, we call everything a caucus because it's kind of a joke about how if you have 10 libertarians, there's going to be 14 caucuses, right? And so, called this group the Get Fit Caucus, and the whole idea was let's meet back at 2022, and we'll cheer each other on to be more fit than we are now.
Yeah.
And the group has done some amazing, successful things, like the things that people are doing. So we should probably bring Ken on so he can start to talk about it.
Here we go. Welcome, Ken.
Hello.
Welcome, welcome.
Ladies, how you doing tonight?
Very awesome. Very, very good. I know you've had a busy day, but super happy you were able to scoot in and join us.
Yeah, no, between medical stuff for my wife, work stuff, the typical LP stuff, and it's always a whirlwind of things and always a balance. But no, very happy to be here. You guys started out talking about health and getting healthy, and that's what we're trying to do with the Get Fit Caucus.
Right. So how did this idea occur to you?
Well, I'm going to skip over the very beginning of it because I still have PTSD from it. But the 2020 convention controversy, the controversy over the 2020 convention eventually led me to realize that, a lot of our members don't live so good. We don't take care of ourselves. And, as libertarians, we believe that we are ultimately responsible for our own actions. And I want to see more libertarians live longer, live happier, live healthier. And so I think that the caucus was really born out of a couple of things. Number one, seeing my fat butt on the video recording. I was like, wow, I need to slow down on the tacos.
Video and photos will get you every time, where you're just like, oh, hello there.
Yeah, it's like, okay, yeah, somebody needs to slow down on the tacos. That would be me. And then the whole thing about the comorbidities with COVID and whatnot. And we have had a few members of the party pass away from complications from COVID. And I think that all kind of culminated into, hey, you know what? I need to get healthier. I'd like to see other libertarians be healthier. I'd like to make sure that, anybody who wants to get healthier, that we're supportive and that we work together. And as we all have individual needs. There's no one size fits all fitness program. And it fits right in with libertarianism. You set your own goals and we cheer you on and say, go for it. And as you reach benchmarks, we applaud people and encourage them to keep going.
You mentioned all of us kind of having to come face to face with, maybe portions of our health that we've ignored and have been able to ignore, right?
Yeah.
Or can fool ourselves into ignoring for a long time. But COVID kind of brought that really to the forefront for a lot of people. And when you were seeing, not just like the comorbidities, like, yes, make sure your diabetes is under control. If you have a heart condition, make sure that you are, doing what you need to do to address that as best you can. But seeing the impact of obesity and seeing the studies that were coming out saying, if you are over 35% BMI, and we can all debate the value of BMI, you are twice as likely to be hospitalized, and you are close to 80% more likely to die if you are hospitalized and you are over 35% BMI. And that's very stark. Like, that is just like, that's not a correlation. That's not a correlation. That's getting into causation, like something so core that we can't ignore it. Right. And for a lot of us, that is a major health concern. We have other things that are health concerns, but like for a lot of us, we live in a pretty rich country.
Yeah.
We're all fat.
For now.
Food's everywhere.
For now, for the moment. So yeah. And Travis.
Yeah. He said that it wakes you up. I think I saw a picture of myself the last time I actually saw Ken when we were all together, and there's a picture of me, and I'm like, oh my God, what happened? Like 2020, I ate it all.
That's how my 2020 started. I mean, I kind of was on kind of a half-assed diet before 2020 started. And over the course of, I don't know, 16 months or so, I'd lost about 20 pounds, which is not awful, but it wasn't, really hardcore or anything. COVID hit, and within the first 6 weeks, I gained that 20 pounds back.
Oh, yeah.
And it was just, it was that fast. It just bang.
I think we were all eating our feelings.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Totally.
Yeah. And not going out, right? I get a lot of my exercise walking in and out of a car into customer sites, working around data centers because I work in IT, actually being mobile. And the lack of mobility meant that I sat here in this chair and was on the computer all day and all night and ate at this chair. I sat at this chair, just worked and never left this chair. I slept in this chair many, many nights. So, it's like I literally just I got up to go get food and go to the bathroom, and that was it. And so when you get that sedentary, it's really easy to pack on weight. Boy, is it easy to pack on weight.
Mm-hmm. It is.
And so by the time the convention hit, I can't remember. I don't know that I weighed myself right before the convention, but after, I know I was sitting at a 44-inch waist and was at 276 pounds when I started this weight loss, which has been, I think I'm at 193 days now.
Good for you.
And as of this morning, in my big announcement, I'm officially down 70 pounds. Oh. So I'm in at 206. I am down 10 inches on my waist. I'm able to fit in 34. Wow. Yeah, it's kind of a big deal. Like, it's a noticeable difference.
That's a huge change.
And combined with being more vigilant about taking multivitamins and, the COVID stuff again, that all kind of came back to, hey, there's some correlation studies that say high doses of C and D with some zinc could help. Well, high doses of C and D and some extra zinc don't hurt. So why not? Like, even if it's not real, okay. I just spent a little extra money on some vitamins, I guess, whatever. And so I've actually boosted my intake of B, C, D, E, and zinc, taking the regular multi plus boosts to those, combined with the weight loss, sleeping a little better. You guys mentioned the sleeping. That's important. Always been a problem for me. I'm an insomniac to the extreme. But sleeping better, better vitamins, better diet, keeping my calories under control. I'm feeling great. Like I actually feel really good. Like I'm in better spirits.
Yeah.
I'm ignoring all the various Facebook dramas and all that nonsense. I mean,
that's a big part.
I got better things to do with my life than getting embroiled in the drama of the moment. And, between all those changes that I've made in my life, it's affected everything. It's affected my mood, which in turn has affected positively my relationship with my wife and my kids. And I mean, it all ties together. So I'm really happy with where I'm going. And I see other people in the group. We have that Facebook group, LP Get Fit Caucus, and any Libertarian Party member is welcome to join. There are some rules. We'll get to those in a second. But, I see these other people. I see Chris Clements out there working out like every other day. I see John
we have
Wolford.
him. We have a photo of Chris working out.
Yeah. If you got a photo, throw it up there, because Chris is literally working out like every other day. Like he's always at the gym. Yeah. And good for him, right? I mean,
oops,
that's not me.
Nope.
That's right.
Yeah.
And that's the whole point, right? It's not about, everybody's different, right? So I'm just doing calorie counting, right? I'm counting my calories, trying to keep things in moderation and down, and that's working for me. That doesn't work for everybody. I spoke with somebody last night at the office that you definitely know, Kara, that says that he said calorie counting doesn't work for him. And I said, well, that's kind of the thing, right? Everybody's different. You got to do the thing that works for you. So, Chris is out working in a gym all the time, making me feel like a wimp. And Tyler, I've been trying to catch up to Tyler. That's been actually my secret goal behind the whole thing, is I'm trying to catch up to Tyler. I haven't told him that, I don't think, yet. So maybe he'll find out now. But that's been my secret. So that's our little silly logo. I literally went out and Googled, show me a scale. And so I just threw this up there, right? And everyone's like, holy crap, if you get to 126, you'll be emaciated. And I'm like, I'm not getting to 126. Yeah. I mean, I haven't been 126 since I was in my early teens. So that's not going to happen. But, the whole point is that, we're just getting fit, and I needed a logo. So there it is. There's Chris. Yeah. So I know this picture.
He's always working out. He is. And he hits it hard.
So this picture is, I think, about a week ago or so, because he was staying away from the gym temporarily to get all the New Year's resolutioners out of the way, because they clog all the machines up. And it's like, for me, I used to travel for a living, and God, I hated traveling on holidays, because it's like full of people that don't travel. They're like, what do I do now? Get on the plane. Get on the friggin' plane. That's what we're doing here. Getting on the plane. Get on the plane. Sit down. Get on the plane. So I assume it's the same thing. It's like, what are we doing now? You're exercising. Do your reps and get off the machine.
Get sweaty.
So, so I think that's what's going on. I don't know. I haven't seen the inside of a gym.
And I like that in this group, it's about what is your health goal. It's not a weight loss group.
Mm-mm.
Right.
It is, what does health look like for you? And for one of our members, Michelle, hers was quitting smoking.
Yeah.
And it took her a while to build up to it, but I think we have the graphic, because she got a little device that shows her.
Oh, that's not it.
Nope, that's running.
That's running. I don't know where it is. Let's see. No, I didn't get it, Kara. Let me go see if I can grab it.
Okay.
But that's a good example, and I forget who posted that one, but that was a picture. That's somebody who
exercise,
is showing their walk distance, right?
Yep.
And of course, they came along with the joke about it being a very libertarian walk because of that 420 that was prominently in the center. Whatever. We have a good time. I mean, that's the thing, right? Is so Chris and John they're going to the gym, they're doing workouts, right? Michelle's quitting smoking. I've seen somebody else doing yoga, at least one other person doing yoga. The intermittent fasting thing, I've seen people doing that. it's whatever works for you. And I can't be the arbiter of that. I'm just like, hey, whatever works. That's awesome. There it is.
Yes.
So
Hey,
congratulations, Michelle.
yes.
yes.
So Michelle is well on her way to quitting smoking. She's already saved $57 in cigarettes.
And I
Part
like
of that's because she lives in Ohio, but
I like this app that she's using
Quit
for
now.
motivation, because when you see that, it's, so she had quit for 3 days, but it's showing how many cigarettes she has not smoked during that time,
Oh, that's cool.
how much money she saved, how much time she has won back on her life.
Oh,
yeah.
that
And
is
for me,
awesome.
the money saved thing would be the big one for me. And for libertarians, right? How much of that was taxes? I can tell you, as somebody who lives in Kentucky, a tobacco state, that
Probably
cigarettes
half.
only cost about $1 a pack. So everything else is taxes. And so that's probably $10 in cigarettes and $47 in taxes she didn't pay. And
Exactly.
so,
Starve the state.
yeah, I mean, whatever motivates you, right? And that's really what it comes down to. I do want to mention the rules of the caucus because I think they're important.
Yeah.
The rules are be positive, no
Yes.
body shaming, no stalking, no doxing, and no arguments. Because it doesn't matter. Whatever works for you is what works for you. So you can't go around telling people that that's wrong.
Right.
I don't want anybody doing stupid stuff and stalking people. I don't want anybody. We're here to grow ourselves as libertarians, actually, or maybe not grow, to shrink ourselves as libertarians, but to grow as people. And be the best version of ourselves that we want to be, at least physically. And I do, as I noted at the very beginning, I feel like being more physically fit has led to me being more mentally fit. So
Yes.
I'm pretty happy, and I think
I'm definitely more resilient when I take better care of myself. When I'm eating better, I notice, because every so often, Tracy and I will go like hit the taqueria or whatever. We both feel like shit the next day.
Yeah.
Physically, but I mean, you feel like kind of tired and groggy. You got almost like a hangover.
And you get that rock in your stomach.
Yeah,
that was a prime rib, man.
Yeah, like your body's like an engine, and if you put the wrong fuel in it, it doesn't run as good.
Yeah, absolutely. And for that matter, you can put the too much of the right kind of fuel, if you will, and overrun it too, just like a real engine. If you run too high of octane, you'll burn holes in the cylinders. So if you run too low, the engine knocks and doesn't run worth a darn. So I'm a car guy too. So, but yeah, no, I mean, it's very, very good stuff. I'm really happy. I was telling somebody the other night that of all the things I've done in the party, this is the one I really feel I've done the most good, because I feel like we're all helping each other live longer. We're actually having a very direct, positive impact on everyone who's involved. And even those that are right now still sitting on the sidelines thinking, oh, I'll do it next week. I'll do it next week. At some point they'll do it, right? Our former executive director, Dan Fishman, finally jumped in about a week or two after the new year. He procrastinated. He eventually jumped in. I want to see more people. I want to encourage them. You're going to get nothing but positive from us, because we want you to succeed. And when you fail,
anyone be nasty.
No.
I haven't seen any arguments. I haven't seen any crap.
Kick them. If anybody's nasty, I'll kick their ass right out of the group. I mean seriously, I will. They're going to be gone.
The only Facebook group I've ever been in, and I've been in like Facebook groups that all they do is share pictures of kittens, and people will fight and turn into assholes. And this is literally the only Facebook group I'm in that doesn't regularly devolve into shit.
Yeah. Well, and like I said, and I haven't had to do it, but if somebody does it, I will kick them out, because what we're doing here, I'm hoping that we get more people, because I know some of those folks are not, the people in the group are still haven't started, and that's okay, right? I hope they start soon. When they're ready to start, they can tell us what their goal is or not. They can work on it silently, or they can talk about it. We're gonna support them to try to achieve their goals with words of encouragement and it's amazing how far the hey, good job really goes when you're trying to do this stuff.
Yes.
So
It does go very far. Like, like my goal is, kittens make people angry. Obviously they do.
Darn kittens.
I mean, it's
just being so cute,
literally
playing with yarn,
figure shit out to bitch about. But so a lot of stuff I post in there is about food, because I've been trying to be very nutrition focused, and I'm doing a calorie count too, but I'm trying to be very nutrition focused. And I'm trying to, because like my goal every day is always to get a minimum of 4 cups of vegetables and 2 cups of fruit every day. Like that's my bare minimum, my number one focus for my day. So a lot of what I post is like pictures of food and recipes, and that's, so I'm always looking for like, how can I sneak more vegetables into this?
Yeah. Well, in real quick, Travis posted in the chat, how do you join? Listen, this thing was just set up as a silly, we called it a caucus because everything's a caucus. It's not really a caucus. We're not focused on changing the party in any way other than seeing our members get healthier. So just search on Facebook, LP Get Fit Caucus. And that's, you'll find it there. It asks you 3 simple questions, basically agree to the rules. And in the chat, I see that the link's been posted, but you can search for it on Facebook, LP Get Fit Caucus. I've learned all kinds of interesting stuff. Riced cauliflower is good. Like I can eat that all day and all night. By the way, Chipotle has started offering to swap out rice with riced cauliflower. I do recommend getting twice as much because they give you about 1/4 of what they give you for rice with the cauliflower. So the first time I got that, I'm like, this is just beans, but okay. So definitely get the double order of the cauliflower rice, but no, it's an extra 20 calories. Okay, whatever.
But it fills you up. It's really good.
It is really good. And you still get to get the hot sauces and the beans. The burrito I've been ordering now is less than 400 calories, which, if you look at the regular menu at Chipotle, you're talking usually about 850 to start, if not over 1,000 calories per burrito. So dropping that rice off, switching, I do the fajita vegetables, so I love fajitas anyway, and the grilled chicken, and then I throw some hot sauce on it, and the hot sauce is like 20 calories because I douse it, and the vegetables are almost free, and the cauliflower is almost free. So it's just because of the wrap, and then the bulk of the burrito, it adds up to about 400 calories, and it's very filling. It's very good. We've shared some recipes. The crepini, that was a good tip.
Yes,
I got the wife on that. Because I saw Heather had the picture of the lasagna you made with the crepini, and I'm like, I love lasagna. I love lasagna, and so if I can make a low-cal lasagna, hell to me.
And now you can, and it's super low calorie, like super low.
And that's awesome. That's the kind of stuff, and that's the kind of stuff we do in the caucus, right? It's sharing these low-cal things that are good, that we've tried, and they're like, yeah, it was good. Or, every once in a while it's like, yeah, that was okay. Like I think I tried to make pickled chicken and it sucked. That did not work out. I need a different way to do that. I literally just took chicken and tried to marinate it in pickle juice. That did not work.
That doesn't sound good.
No, it was like whatever needs to be done. That's not the process. I just was like, oh hell, I'll just throw it in some pickle juice and see what happens. Doesn't work.
Things work out,
nope.
But
nope. You get some salty chicken with some slight dill flavor. That's just enough to be annoying. So,
so Heather made some pretty big changes in her life because you were concerned about a family history of diabetes.
Yeah, I have a family member who just found out they are pre-diabetic, and they're doing nutrition change, and I'm closely related to them, so I thought, you know what, I better work on this, because I gained like 20 something pounds this last year, and I was like, enough's enough, right?
So Thanks, COVID.
yeah, and thanks COVID for freaking making my life a mess more than that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it trying to Kara had some really good ideas about adding more vegetables, and you were doing the Noom app.
Yes,
And
I
and
love Noom.
and it was really good advice. I didn't want to keep paying, but I stole all the advice I could from the free trial, and I'm like, okay, I got it. And I cut my calories way down, and I pretty much ate like a ton of vegetables. And I got down about 35 pounds. And now it's evened out. I'm like, ugh, it's really hard to be hardcore dieting for too long. But
but you've also been, like you get your blood draws,
yes,
I think yearly, and then check that, and those are trending really good for you too,
yeah.
right?
And I do like green drinks, and I take supplements, and what Ken mentioned earlier, like I'm really thoughtful about trying to make sure I had vitamin D and zinc, and having green drinks. You get your full vegetables every day. It's like magic in your body. So I went from almost having to take cholesterol drugs, statins, to being like really good in the normal range. So it's worth it.
I mean, it's amazing that when you start eating healthier, I mean, not to sound like a broken record here, but I mean, I can't even hardly describe it. It's weird. It's like, the only downside for me, I have always had low blood pressure throughout my life. And as a kid, if I stand up too fast, I fall over.
Yep.
And so it's actually a really interesting effect. It's kind of like those old school televisions. When you turned them off, the world would... Yeah, it does that. It literally, the world just...
Oh, you black out kind of.
Yeah, Gets all the blood rushes out of your head, and your brain's like, oh no!
I have high blood pressure, so it's like I go from being like high blood pressure to being like a normal person, which I'm like, wow, I don't feel like I'm constantly having a heart attack. So this is great.
So that's been the only downside for me, and it's funny because it's a hereditary thing, and it's whatever, but... literally the recommendation is eat more salt, which I love salt. So I'm like, okay, I can eat more salt. That works for me. I can do that. That's easy. I just, look, vegetables, salt, meat, salt. Okay. Salt. So but again, that goes back to everybody's different. Right. And that's why it's so important that people find what works for them. And I know we have several different apps that people are using in the group. I use Lose It. I can't say that I necessarily recommend it because a lot of people have put bogus data into it, which infuriates me.
Right.
Oh, that pisses me off. Like, because you trust it. You're like,
why did you take the time to enter all this information that's wrong?
That's
like
wrong.
what were you thinking? So
they were lying to themselves through the app. They're like, oh, I'm only eating like 50 calories. And you're like, that's 500.
Right. And it always is that too. It's always that it's too low. Like very rare is it like, oh, that's too many calories. Usually it's too low. And it's like, this actually says 100 calories on it. Like it even advertises on the front, 100 calories per serving. And then you've got it in there as 80.
Yeah. It's like, I hate that.
I like Noom because it's not just a calorie counter. Although, so you submit to them when you have something that isn't in their data, and then they check it and approve it.
Nice.
So I like that better. They have a group that you can group chat in, and you have a coach that you talk to at least once a week and interact with, which is nice. Because you can ask them, like, I'm trying to do this, or I'm trying to figure this out. Give me ideas. And they do. And then it has articles, like short little articles and quizzes each day to get you. But I liked it because it was about changing habits. Everything on that is about changing habits. It's not really a calorie counter. It's a habit changer. So I was more interested in that. But people are using different apps. They have different things they're trying to accomplish. I saw Lauren had just posted that her and her husband are doing this together. They're down 14 and 10 pounds respectively. So, I mean, they started that out. Other people are just starting. We have a couple people now that are quitting smoking, which is pretty spectacular. That's not an easy thing to do whatsoever. Other people are really focused on exercise, whatever that is, like adding activity into their life. Some people are more hardcore. Other people are trying to do like a gentle addition of activity. But everyone's kind of keying in on their area of life to improve.
Yeah, and we've encouraged setting realistic expectations too, right? I mean, that's the thing. It's like, I'm following in the app. I had a target, that I programmed in and said I want to hit this weight by this date, right? And the Lose It app will keep track of that, and it confusingly also keeps track of when you're actually going to hit it, and it kind of flip-flops the terminology, which is another complaint, but whatever. It's good enough. Like, I mean, that's the thing. My wife's like, your app sucks. You should change it. I'm like, I'm 190 something days into this app. Like,
right.
then I'm going to lose that history.
I love the tracking. Yeah. Once you get committed, it's hard to switch because you're like, I love seeing like the change. I mean, I get it.
Yep.
Well, and one person had put in here that they learned something about how their weight and how it affects them with the up and down of dieting. If they're 205 or higher, then his knees and back hurt. Yeah. But if he can stay below 195, his knees and back don't hurt.
Oh,
yeah.
And so, people are finding that out, so yeah, they have a goal weight of 175, but for health, for feeling better and having better quality of life, they know that their ceiling is 195. Yeah. Because when they go above that, then they have pain. Like, they have pain every day in their life.
Yeah, and so I have actually aggravated by it's genetic, but also aggravated by weight, sciatic nerve issue. And when I'm heavier, and actually I haven't had it since losing all this weight. It's been really, really nice. When it's heavy, when I was heavy, and the longer I stand, the worse it gets. My left leg on the outside, the thigh, would switch between stabbing pain, numbness, and burning. It's just three different, it rotates, and there's nothing I can do about it. It started out actually entertainingly while walking all over Germany back in 2005 on a trip with some friends. We were walking up and down the mountains. Nice. Who was that joined Noom?
Oh, that was
Laura.
Yeah, Laura. Nice.
And Laura, remember, here's the hint. So sign up for Noom and then unsign up for Noom, and they'll send you an offer to re-sign up for half.
Totally worth it.
Just let you know.
Yeah, I mean, it was entertaining that we were getting all this exercise, walking up literal mountains to go to these castles, which, by the way, after you see 3 or 4 of them, they're all the same.
Yeah.
Right. I'm just saying, there's no reason to go on a tour of castles in Europe. They're all it's like, oh, look, a giant rock building. Okay, I've seen 3 of them. They're the same.
Apart.
Yeah. The last one, I'm like, whatever, guys, I'm going to hang out in the hotel room. I'm hurting anyway. You all go. It was good stuff. But that was when I discovered I had that problem. And then I've lived with that because I really haven't been lower than that weight since that time. There was one summer where I lost a lot of weight really fast, and that was diet change and a significant amount of exercise. We were playing Ultimate Frisbee 2 days a week, which those that don't know Ultimate Frisbee, that's, we were playing for 3 to 3.5 hours each time. And that's just run. Like, you just, the breaks in play are very short. And so with that much exercise, stopped eating red meat, went to all chicken instead of red meat. And then significantly lower calorie, and got rid of all soft drinks and went to iced tea, which I like unsweet iced tea because I'm the weird Southerner that despises sweet tea.
Good.
I love sweet tea.
But it's so much better for you to not drink sweet tea.
I have never liked sweet tea, so it was easy for me to switch. This coffee that I just wrapped up, black coffee, no problem.
Perfect.
But just doing that, I dropped like 80 pounds in like 4.5 months or something like that. It was a lot of weight to drop. Yeah, I actually that was the last time I was.
Holy cow!
That was the last time I was under 200. I don't remember what year that even was now, because it's so, I mean, I'm a guy, and after last week, it all blurs together. So, but it was some years ago, and, really haven't been in that good a shape since then. This time, I think the slow and steady, actually keeping the diet change, I think staying focused on that. Because the wife's even asked me, well, what happens when you hit your goal? Which my goal is 185 and I'm at 206. So I'm I've lost 70. I've got, 20 to go basically.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, I'll reevaluate when I get there. I mean, we'll see, maybe I'll want to, and we've talked about getting some more exercise equipment, actually doing, exercising, because all these people working out in gyms are making me feel like I'm cheating. And that's okay. I mean, whatever. That's kind of the whole point too, right? Is to get ideas on what to do next. And so, it's good stuff. And you guys mentioned the chart. Let's see if we can get my phone to read.
Oh yeah.
Come on, baby.
Oh, there we go. Look at that.
Look at that. Down 70. Woo! Yeah. That is awesome.
That's the whole thing. And so, that's the other nice thing about tracking is it's very encouraging. You get to see.
I like that.
That is a visual representation of the last 190 something days of my life of dieting, and it's paying off. And so, the only thing I would say is that if somebody is in the caucus, or even if they're not in the caucus, but trying to lose weight and it's not working, don't give up. Just try something different. Because again, every single person is different, and you got to find what works for you.
Well, and I think expectations is a big thing. Is, some people think I'm going to do everything. I'm going to cut my calories down to crazy pants, and I'm going to exercise every day. I'm going to do CrossFit every day. And I'm like, and then they quit because it's too much, too fast.
It's overwhelming.
Right. Well, and the problem with if you cut your calories down to crazy, your body's going to go into starvation mode. It shocks it, and it goes into starvation mode.
Like you're dying.
Right. And so it starts actually specifically conserving fat, because it's like, hey, fat is good burnable calories. So I need to start eating the muscle and keep the fat, because I need to have that high calorie to survive. And so you don't necessarily want to do that. And the apps all take care of that kind of stuff and figure that out for you. The first thing you do is you track what you're doing initially, and it kind of figures out, okay, based on what you're doing now and what your goal is and what your date is, this is how we got to do this. We've set a pretty reasonable goal. We're what are we now? 15 months, I think. 15 or 16 months. 16. We are still 16 months away from the National Convention, roughly in 2022, and that's our goal.
Yeah, it is.
You've got plenty of time. You don't have to rush. No crash diets here.
No.
Just do it.
My biggest hamper was when I want to either maintain or lose or gain, is measuring my food, because I have learned that I cannot eyeball food for anything. I think I'm eating 1 cup of something, and it is like 1 3/4.
Yeah. The only thing I've gotten good at is by hand, I can pick up about 1 ounce of spinach or mixed greens. Like just one, not a giant.
I know this.
Just
I'm
one.
Probably because you've done it so many times that you probably can do it in your sleep. You're like, this is this much.
It's a funny thing you guys talked about. Heather, you talked about this earlier about the adding more vegetables, right? Yeah. I like uncooked spinach. I like raw spinach. It's just that it wasn't part of my diet. And the mixed greens don't bother me. It's not like I'm like, ooh, yay, mixed greens. But I also am not like, oh no, mixed greens. So, having a salad that is, I usually do spinach, mixed greens, radishes.
Radishes.
Usually an egg, a hard-boiled egg, because it's high protein. And then if I'm feeling crazy and wanting to, punish myself later with overdoing the calories in one sitting, I'll add a little bacon, because bacon makes everything wonderful.
Oh, I love bacon.
Yeah, bacon's so good. The big thing for me, honestly, the big change for me in my diet was significantly cutting cheese, because I was a cheese fanatic. Like, my wife would buy the cheese sticks, And I just like every time I go upstairs, I'm like,
snack
cheese stick, yay, cheese stick. And then
And you're
also
like,
I'm like,
"Jesus,
that was
help."
good. Let's get another one. And so, yeah, you know, all of a sudden it's like, hey, there's 300 calories every time I walk by the fridge, right?
Oh God,
And
yeah.
so, because it's wonderful cheese. It's those mozzarella sticks. Oh, they're so good. So
Yes.
good. But yeah, I mean, you know, but there's all kinds of interesting things I've done. Just tried it out and just said, the heck with it. If it fails, it fails. Who cares?
Yeah.
I've been doing buffalo cauliflower.
Oh, that's so good.
And literally the first time I just was like, okay, let's break the cauliflower up into about 1-inch pieces, put them in a bucket, toss them with some stuff, throw them on a tray. 325 or 375, 400 sounds about right. I don't know. Threw it in the oven, put it in there for like 15 minutes. It looked like it got pretty good. And I'm like, okay. Took it back out, tossed it again, because that's how you do, you know, add more sauce. And you know, Frank's Red Hot buffalo sauce is pretty low calorie.
It is.
And the cauliflower is damn near free. And so, I mean, literally, I'll sit down and eat an entire head of lettuce, head of cauliflower worth of cauliflower that's been done with buffalo. I am completely full, and it's like 150 calories. I mean, it's like
I do that in my air fryer.
Oh, air fryer.
Yeah. And so,
awesome.
and it's good, right? I mean,
I love it.
Look, buffalo chicken wings are really about the chicken is the delivery mechanism for the sauce, right?
Yeah.
So switching it out for something that's cauliflower, not fried, but they also sell fried cauliflower, which, by the way, is fried cauliflower wings are like the same number of calories as a regular chicken wing. So why in the hell?
There's no point in that.
You've taken something good and you've ruined it. Well, we're coming up on time. So thank you very much, Ken. Really appreciate it. Hopefully people get inspired, and then we can all see each other in 2022, and we're glowing with health.
Healthy.
Yep. And if I can throw a couple more plugs in, LP Get Fit Caucus is the group. Again, search for it there. Quick questions. You got to be an LP. The only requirement is being an LP member and not being a jerk, basically.
Yes.
Some people have said, well, what if we don't plan on going to Reno in 2022? Well, you should plan on going to Reno in 2022. Even if you're not a delegate, there's other stuff to do at conventions. So
yes, there is.
Plan on that. Get ready. You got 16 months to gear up for that. And, you know, see us there. And my hope is that we all take a picture. And that's kind of the new thing that I've idea I had. A picture of ourselves from 2020, right? Whether at convention or otherwise. And then we're going to take a group picture with us holding our 2020 pictures, so we can actually have a picture of the gains that we have made towards our health.
Yeah, I love that.
You know, and hopefully encourage other people to do the same thing when they see just how much it's changed. And I'm just going to stand up and show people, because it's a thing, like how much I have lost.
Look at that.
Well,
you look fantastic.
But before I was like, this shirt is new, so I was out to here. So I've lost a lot, and I don't have it tucked in, but whatever. Anyway, the point is that
you look awesome. That is so
I'm
great.
losing weight, and other people are too. You can do it too. Join us, LP Get Fit Caucus, and then join us in Reno in 2022.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Ken. Really appreciate
Thanks,
it.
ladies. Y'all have a good night.
You bet.
Too.
See, that was good. He did a really good thing starting that group, and it is a positive group. I love being part of that group. That's like my happy spot. But I wanted to make sure we have time for you, Heather. Do you have your...
I do, but I forgot to bring it in here because I was like, wow, we might run out of time, so I didn't grab it. But I'll be right back.
All right, I will tap dance while you do that. I'm bad at tap dancing. That's not going to happen.
This is like a total... Okay, you know me. Like, I have what we call sex hair.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
I have no sex hair.
I tell you, like, sex hair doesn't just naturally happen. You have to put some work into sex hair. So before we do that, I'm going to do, this is just the tip. Okay, if you too want sex hair, but you're like, how, Heather, how can I also have sex hair? And I'm not just saying it's women, men and women want sex hair too. Everybody does. I have a trick. It's a new thing. My hair gets kind of dry. I have dyed it before and it gets dried out. I have very thick, coarse hair. So, Hermione from Harry Potter, she gets like frizzy hair. I get frizzy hair. So what we do is this product, and there's other ones that are kind of like it. This is called Pronexa, and it is a hair bonding complex. What you do, it's like a deep conditioner treatment, and it's a new thing. It's only been around for like a couple years, but a lot of hair salons do it, and it's a super expensive treatment to do there. But you can buy this on Amazon for very cheap. Do it like once or twice a month, and it makes your hair all kind of smoothed out and not so like crinkly. If you dye your hair blonde and you damage it, this will actually kind of transform it back to being good. Also, don't use a hairdryer. That's crazy pants stuff.
Oh,
use
yes.
like a microfiber towel. Or
I use a hair dryer every day.
Don't use a hairdryer, Kara Schultz. You need a microfiber towel. They have ones. Which one?
I'm not drying my hair with my hair dryer though. I'm styling it.
Yeah, you can do that with other ways. I know.
I think
but,
Heather's just.
But that's how you damage your hair is with heat.
You say my hair looks like shit.
Your hair looks gorgeous, but it's probably But okay. You can still do that, but if you use this will heal the damage that you're doing, you crazy woman. Pronexa. So that's just the tip. And
for your hair tips.
And I love the Curly Girls hair book, and they have a whole group on Facebook where they talk about how they take care, and they don't wash their hair very often, which I get itchy, so I just don't do that as much. But
I don't understand that.
But they have different kinds of, it's just like the weight things that we're talking about. Everybody's got different hair. I got mega hair. And like, if you have silky, smooth, like fine hair, it's not going to be the same. So you got to use different products, right? So just like a diet, not everything works for everyone else.
Yeah. Because when I wake up in the morning, my hair is crazy.
Yes, you do have crazy hair in the morning. I've seen you.
Yeah. People can't believe how freaking wild my hair is in the morning. I go to bed and my hair looks better waking up in the morning. I'm like, what? I literally look like I was breakdancing all night on my head. I know. I kind of wonder if that's what you do. You're like, I'm so tired. I'm like, because you need to stop breakdancing all night. Yeah, because I'm obviously not laying still. You're like, shoo! I don't know what I'm doing. I'm like having exorcist shit going down in my bed because. Oh God! I mean, it is like. And I'm not kidding. It will be like that, but all over. You think Mabel's sitting on your head at night, like messing up your hair? Maybe. Sorry, I'm all goopy now. You get like Kat looking at. She's like, "I'm gonna help her," and you're like, "Stop helping." Mabel's like, "This crap is nasty. It's not gonna work." Oh, Travis didn't know what kind of hair. Sex hair. Hair. That's what it is. Just had wild sex. Mabel is dancing in your hair. Probably. She's a maniac. Sorry, I just said that. Okay. Yeah. So that's all of my tip. But did we have good news? Yeah. So everyone, if you have good news for the week, your one awesome thing, something that happened that makes you really happy, you want to share it with people. It can be a small thing, it can be a big thing. Let us know in the comments and then we'll share it because it makes all of us feel better when we hear about good things happening with good people. So I love that. It's one of my favorite things every week is seeing good stuff that's happening. I do too. Makes everything better, I think. Oh God. I had like a couple good things. I always feel like mine are kind of lame. And then I see somebody else post and they're like, "Oh, I saved a bunch of nuns." And I'm like, "Damn it, mine sucks." But this week I'm started this teaching English as a second language class. Yeah. I've been blazing through it. And I'm actually having a good time on Coursera learning about it's teaching skills and stuff, and I'm going to apply it to my work as a librarian, but
it's super fun, and I'm already like about halfway through because I'm just like crazy pants when I start learning new stuff. I'm like, I want to know it all. So I'm having a good time.
My one awesome thing is I'm starting to get booked up for going to state conventions.
You're a popular lady.
So I'm really excited about that because last year we had a couple and then everything shut down. And then I think people were thinking it was going to be kind of iffy, but yeah, I mean, all the state conventions are getting planned. Most of them that I've seen are in person. So yeah, I will be heading out and hugging my fellow libertarians. But I will ask them first because, consensual hugging.
Yes. You can't just go hug people willy-nilly, Kara.
I know.
Although that sometimes when I see people, that's my first instinct. And I'm like, hug.
Yeah,
and they're like,
know.
No. So when is your first one? Is that like coming up in it's January now, but I mean like April? Okay.
Yep.
That's awesome. I see Laura Chancey Lane had one too.
Mm-hmm. I would hug you, Laura. I would.
Oh, Portia takes on the Black Belt podcast. Portia Shepherd.
Oh my God!
Party. Now she wants to run for state house. Yeah,
that's freaking awesome. Yes, that is a very awesome thing, Laura. Oh my God! I bet you are so excited.
Yes, I love libertarians. That's
so pretty great. Spectacular. That would be a great. And yes, I would definitely hug you, Laura.
Oh my God! I want to give Laura hugs. Yes. Oh my God. I love good news. Oh, yeah. I was just thinking earlier, I wish there was an app for like libertarians getting healthy app. And then like you could show how many years we're adding on to the Libertarian Party by all of us staying alive longer. And like because I mean, libertarians are the best.
That would be an amazing app.
It's like, look how much longer we're going to live than those sneaky other parties.
Ken needs to make that app.
Yeah,
I bet he can make that. I bet he can make that app.
I know. I would love to see it on the page and go,
Ken, if you're still watching, make that app.
Make it happen. I know. I
love that idea.
I decree this should happen, and then
we could all be in that Get Fit caucus, and then we put what we're doing and the changes we're making, and then it's calculating up.
That's an awesome app there, Travis said. Yes. I would like that. Because then I could see how, like, look, we've added like 500 years of libertarianism.
Yeah, exactly, Travis. I love that. I just like cauliflower. 15 whole minutes.
I did it. Look at me. I'm drinking hop tea instead of a beer. I added like an hour to my life. Like, and so like we could take over the world because so many more libertarians. So yeah, that's where my brain went today.
That is a spectacular idea, Heather. I like it.
I like it. I have no technical skills to make it happen, but I do like the idea. So yes. I hope to see it.
Someone needs to make that happen.
Oh, well, oh my gosh, we're almost out of time.
I know. We're hitting the top of the hour.
I know it. I love getting to spend time with everyone.
My favorite time of the week.
It goes so fast. Oh man.
Even when I'm having a day when I'm like, oh, Heather, I don't know if I can do the show. Today has been so shitty. I've been struggling. It's been a hard week.
Anyway.
And we're like, okay, we'll just do it. And then by the end of the show, I'm just like, yes.
What the hell happened? And we're like, yay. And usually after it, I just feel like, oh, that's why we do this show.
Yes.
Because it feels so good.
Yes.
Even when we have nothing, we think, oh, there's nothing to talk about. We talk the whole damn time. So I don't know. And I love it.
I have a feeling that we were probably both the kids that got the kindergarten mark talks too much in class.
Yes. And when I was in kindergarten, I would my parents would have to wait for me after school because little boys would come and give me a kiss on the cheek before we left because I would talk to everyone all the time and they'd be like, Heather, mwah, mwah. And my mom and dad are like, oh, we gotta go.
So my parents knew what they were getting into because I only made it, I don't know, a few days, maybe a week or so into preschool, and then my parents had to pull me because because we were to color a stoplight.
Oh yeah.
They were teaching us colors, and I knew the color was yellow, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Green, yellow, red. But they didn't have enough yellow crayons, so they gave me an orange one, and I flat out refused to do this
This is
because it
wrong.
was wrong.
I
This
love
is
that.
wrong, and you cannot make me do this. And I decided the whole place sucked.
Oh God. Yeah, I
Like I
know.
was done with it. So my poor mom got no break because I was not going to go.
Oh yeah. I think this was the beginning of Kara being like a stubborn woman who knows what's right and wrong. And I think that's a good thing. I know, like, a lot of times they try to work that out of kids, and I'm like, no, that's the stuff we need. We need more people who will question stupid shit and like
Yeah.
and stand up to the man. So yeah, my hippie parents would have been like, hell yeah, you tell them. Damn the man. So yeah, that's where I got a little bit of that. I love it. Okay. So I could keep talking all night, but I can't and we shouldn't because people have jobs and stuff and whatever. But we will see everyone next week. And if and just be like Travis. And if you want to support the Sweet Subversives, you can be our second Patreon subscriber. And it would be awesome. And thank you, Travis, for supporting us. We love you.
Yes, I know. I'm getting excited. I have a microphone on my Amazon wish
I
list.
know we're getting closer and closer, and soon we will we will be so professional. People will be terrified. Oh, so have a good week, guys, and we will see you later for the Sweet Subversive.
See ya.
Bye bye. Da, da, da.